Good morning, everybody. This is Sue. It is now 2:45 a.m. and this is my Aldi haul for tonight. I also have a very interesting story to tell. So, first I'll go through and tell you what I have. I have 4 jars of kosher dill baby whole pickles and a jar of jalapeno deli sliced peppers. And, well, I'm not too crazy about dill pickles, and I really don't like jalapenos at all. But I've got them. And it says hot. So, I don't know. My grandson might want those. Maybe. I don't know. And I got grapes. I got 3 bottles of cooking oil, pure vegetable oil. I got 4 bags of plums. I've washed them all. I haven't washed the bags for these, but I've washed all of these and they're clean, but the bags I haven't washed yet, except for this one. I did wash this bag. But I've got about 8 pounds of plums. I threw away the bad ones already. And then I got 5 eggs, and I've washed them and I floated them. They're all good eggs. So I got 5 eggs. And this does not have any kind of a label on it or anything. I kind of think it's chicken nuggets. There's some kind of dipping sauce in the middle, but I honestly have no idea what it is. But I do believe that it's chicken nuggets. And I've also got in the car, I haven't brought them in and I'm not going to tonight, a vacuum. And I didn't have a vacuum. I do now. And a bread machine. And this is the basket for the bread machine, but the machine itself is still in the trunk of the car, and it's going to stay there because that thing is heavy, and I don't know if I can lift it or not. So anyway, now for my story. I went to Aldi and I tried and tried and tried to get the vegetable oil out, and I couldn't get it. And I couldn't. I got the plums. I got the plums out. I got the eggs. I got the chicken nuggets. I couldn't get the grapes. They were too far away. I couldn't get them. And so I left. I was there for quite a while. I left and I went over to Dollar Tree. And I went over to Dollar Tree. And just as I was getting out of the car, some guy walked past me. He didn't say anything or anything. He just kept walking. And I looked in the Dollar Tree dumpster and I didn't find anything. And so I went on and I went to Hy-Vee, and there were 2 men diving in the Hy-Vee dumpster. So I went back and went over to Dollar General. Well, the young man that walked past me walked up to me and he said, "Can you give me a ride home?" He said, "I am extremely tired and I just can't walk home." I said, "Well, okay." And he said, "I'll give you a vacuum if you'll drive me home." I said, "You have a vacuum?" He said, "I've got it hid over here." He said, "I found it. I found it in the dumpster." And he said, I've had it hid for a while now." And he said, "I'll just give it to you if you'll drive me home." I said, "Well, okay. Sounds like a fair deal to me." And so uh, he got in the car and he started talking. And he's telling me about his life and how his parents had immigrated here from Russia, and how oppressive everything was back in those days. And Even after the Soviet Union fell, the KGB was still oppressing people and everything, and they felt like they had to get out, so they left, and they came here. And he said he was 3 years old when they got here, and uh, so anyway, I was talking to him, and I said, there's stuff in the Aldi dumpster that I just can't get. And he said, I'll get it for you. He said, we'll just go on back to Aldi, and I'll get the stuff out that you want. He was a very tall young man. So he just jumped into the Aldi dumpster, just vaulted over that thing, and I was impressed. And he got the oil out for me. He got the grapes out for me, and he dug around in there and he found that bread machine. And so he pulled that bread machine out, and there was also a uh, an air fryer. But he checked the air fryer. He said the air fryer is broken. But he said, I think the bread machine works fine. He said, I think the bread machine's okay. So he and I went to a few other dumpsters and we dived and we didn't find anything that we wanted. Um, but and then he was telling me about his friend. Uh, he said his friend is living in an abandoned house. He doesn't have any food. He's just starving to death. He has no electricity. He has no running water. And I said, I'll feed him. I said, go over to my house and I'll give you some food for him. I'll feed him. And he was just astonished. He said, you will? And I said, yes, I'll feed him. He said, he doesn't have a job. I said, that's okay. I'm not going to let somebody starve. I will feed him. So he said, well, he said, can we do it another night? He said, I need to find out when he's up. He said, I don't know if he's up right now or not. And I said, well, okay. I said, you just let me know. And he said, I have a car. He said, I can come to you. I said, okay. And so um, I took him home. Well, I took him to a gas station near his home. He didn't want me to know where he lived. And I thought, you're the young man that lives in the abandoned house. I'm pretty sure that's who we're talking about. But he didn't want to take anything home tonight. So anyway, that's my story for tonight. He seemed like a very nice young man. And so I am going to go to bed now. I'm very tired. Good night.